Hi everybody, it's Mordecai from Queer Universe, and today I would like to talk about being asexual and being on testosterone. So, I myself am a sex neutral to sex repulsed asexual. It depends on the day. If you're not familiar with these terms, sex repulsed is you can't stand the thought of any sexual content or any sexual act. It just grosses you out and it makes you uncomfortable. And sex neutral is you don't really care, kind of like with any neutral standing. Um, you're fine with it, but you'd rather not participate in it or talk about it. And then there are sex favorable asexuals, some that they will have sex with their partners or will do sexual acts depending on how they feel and their placement on the asexual spectrum. Yes, it's a spectrum, just like any other. Like with the trans community, it is an umbrella term. Like, there's gray ace, aromantics, demisexual / demiromantic. There are others, but those are the ones that come to mind. I myself am aromantic asexual, and that means I do not experience romantic attraction or sexual attraction. And I remember when I was first deciding to get on testosterone, I am kind of concerned, at this point in time, before I get on T, when I'm pre-T, concerned about, is this going to change my sex drive? Because, men with testosterone, cis men, tend to have a higher sex drive and want to have more sex, and I don't know, it made me fear that, my identity was going to change again, and, I've been through a lot of identities until, I found what I was comfortable with in identifying as, and, that's a journey all in itself, and, sexuality is able to change, it's fluid, but, I am the most comfortable with identifying as asexual, and so I was really concerned that my world was going to change once again. And I looked into this group I'm in on Facebook. There are, two groups, because, I think some of the mod mins got, deleted and stuff. It was some weird drama that went on. But I'm in both groups, just because, one of them isn't as strict as the other. So it just depends on which one I feel more comfortable talking in. And so in the first group, before it split off, I noticed that, there are other asexuals who were getting on testosterone, and they're is this going to change my sex drive and my sexuality, or, cause it to fluctuate? And, I would read up on these threads, and, they would say, it depends, I guess. Of course, it depends with everybody. The testosterone changes, even. And so, I kept that in the back of my mind, I was worried about it, but at the same time, I wanted to be on testosterone so badly that it was worth the risk. And I am now 11 months on testosterone, about to be 12 a year in December. And it has kind of changed my sexuality. I still identify as asexual. It's just I have more of a sex drive, and asexuals do have sex drives. So, pardon if I misspoke. I'm just talking about it how I see it. So, I don't speak for the whole asexual, aromantic community. So, yeah, this is just how I experience it. Anyway, my desire to want to have sex, not with a partner, but with myself. I know Jennie, she posted a video couple weeks ago. I'll post the link to hers down in the description below, about how asexuals still masturbate, and I do masturbate quite frequently. Not to get too into my personal life, but that is something that is a hobby of mine. It's just pleasurable, and when I'm feeling really low or anything, it helps. Self-love is pretty great. I found that out mostly this year. You know, it's a part of self-care and self-love, so it's not this bad taboo thing that people try to make it out to be. And like, yeah, I guess like this is gonna be too much information, but it's kind of necessary because I know that I experience it, and if other asexual trans people experience this, then they probably need to know that it's okay and it's natural, or it could happen, and not to be afraid. So, I guess content warning, not trigger, but content warning for, you know, sexual content. Yeah. Give it a few secs. Okay, so I have experienced this in my like kind of frequent masturbation. Like my orgasms are really intense, and like I understand now why men are like so lethargic and like go to sleep right after they achieve orgasm. It takes a lot out of you. And like when I identified as female, like I never experienced that, of course. And like now I'm just like, well, shit. I get it. Like of course it doesn't make me a cis male, but like at the same time, like I'm kind of on the same level as them now. And like I've noticed that like I I come untouched a lot, like in the shower, and I'm just like, do cis guys do this? And I'm just, I don't know. I know that's like really weird to say and like ask online, but like I don't know. Um but I'm kind of like, I know cis guy secrets because I know that like uh femi and identifying, ooh, that's hard. Femi identifying people or like non-binary people, like I don't know if they experience that, but like they want to like, I guess, engage in like romantic stuff, like coupling and stuff right after sex, and then like cis guys are just like, no, go to sleep. Hopefully that makes sense. It made sense in my head, but like I know kind of a mindset of cis guys now that I'm so far on testosterone and stuff. But yeah. And like my romantic identifying self, like being aromantic, that hasn't changed, and like I'm just like still like I could be single for the rest of my life, and like intense friendships are fine for me. So luckily that hasn't changed. Like asexually, like I'm still like more sex neutral now than just sex repulsed. It just, again, like I said, it depends on the day. So yeah, I have another video talking about more like aromantic stuff, about how I write sexual and romantic stuff when I'm aromantic asexual. But that doesn't bother me more than like if it were like centered around me. I'll go more into detail about that in that video. But like since it's not about me, it's easier to process and like not have it affect me in a way that a sexual experience or sexual conversation would to me personally. So that's just a long, convoluted way to say I'm still asexual, even though I'm on testosterone. So yeah. And however you identify as an aro, ace, or even an agender person on the asexual spectrum, that's fine. Like, you know, there are multiple ways to identify, and, you know, experiencing like horniness, I guess, and like a sex drive is not bad, even when you identify as asexual. You know, it's just whether you do like experience that or not, it's fine. You're still asexual, and your identification is your own. You make it how you want, and you identify it in your own terms. And like I said, that's what I was doing in the beginning of the video before I got more personal. That was some of my own understandings about my asexual identity. So I don't speak for the whole community. That's just my take on it. So you're valid. That's what I always say. So yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Good Thanksgiving break coming up if you are American. I know the Canadian one was like last month, I think. Or just have a good week wherever you are, depending on if you celebrate the holiday or not. So yeah, love you all. Stay safe.